Welcome to Angie's DIYs. My name is Angie, and here we have our very first project for today. These are some lanterns that we thrifted, and each one of these we're going to take the price tags off and clean them up. But first we want to find out if these batteries work in these candles. And these type of candles, you have to have a screwdriver to unlock the lid, so we're going to get a screwdriver, some new fresh batteries, some wipes, sanitizing wipes to wipe them down, and get them ready for the booth. These are some little teacups that you saw in the video at the thrift stores we went to at Myrtle Beach. We did drop one and break it, but we still have a set of 4. And that is going to go in our Barbie booth because it has the little pink flowers on it. This tote, we're going to just take the stickers off and clean it up. Aren't those pretty? Here's how much we paid for each item. $4 for that. $4 for that. I don't normally pay $4 for a candlestick, but it was already the right color. This lantern was $5, and I think this one was $5. Yeah, $5. Oh, look, that one was a luminaire. I think that's the kind they sell at QVC. This one takes the large batteries. This one, the batteries were rusted in there, so I was a little worried that it wouldn't work. But I was going to try to clean that rust out and see if I could get it to work. Man, we got a range of batteries, all different sizes. So I'm going to take a little piece of sandpaper and see can I clean the post off. There was only one that was rusted. The rest of it was okay. So I have my fingers crossed, hoping it would work. Oh, I guess it didn't. The part where the batteries, we put the batteries in and it did not work, did not make it into the video. But that candle did not work. So we are going to try to take it completely out and clean it up. And I'm not going to replace it with another candle, because you can just sit it over top of a candle that fits. And I thought that would be more functional. Okay, let's check this one out and see if it works. How do y'all like my battery organizer? Oh man, I love that thing. We keep it. Oh, this one works. Look at that. We got a winner. Alright, let's get these stickers off. But yeah, I love that battery organizer. If y'all don't have one of those, you need to get you one. I think it's got a tester in it too to even see if the batteries are good. Okay, we're going to clean this up. If you hear that little puppy, that's my daughter's. I'm over at her house recording today. Okay, let's work on this luminaire. It takes these big batteries. I hardly ever use these big batteries for anything. Let's see if it works. Yep, we got it. It works. Okay. And it's in good shape, too. I think these come with the remote, maybe. It didn't have the remote with it. But I'm pretty sure what I'm going to be charging for is a lot less than what you're going to get it for on QVC. So they probably can live without the remote. But this candle was really dirty, or this lantern. Let's get it cleaned up. Look at that, it looks brand new now. Just cleaned up real easy. And here's how they look in my booth. I think people usually buy the lanterns in the fall and around Christmas time, so these will probably sell pretty good. Project number 2. Now I've had this little box for a while. I couldn't get it open. The latch was broke on it, but I just love this little box. So I took all the hardware off, the hinges off the back, and then I was able to get to the latch on the front, and I took the whole latch off. But I thought this box just had so much character. In this picture, I've already taken the sides off, the legs off, the hinges off the back, and the handle off the top. I've already taped the inside because I did not want to get tape on that fabric on the inside because it was so pretty. I got it, let's see. Yeah, we already washed it down. And I did not, now here we go, we're fixing to wash it now. And I did not try to get any of the color off of it, just in case I distressed it, because I thought those colors would be pretty. If I distressed it back, that would look good. So I didn't try to get the paint off of it. Alright, let's get one coat on here. Alright, this is a real thin coat of paint because I'm using it like a primer. And you can see on that top, because I didn't sand it back, the oil or the top coat that was already on it, you can see that paint is running from it. So I just had to keep working with it until I got it all to stick and go in one direction. And it did. It did okay. Like I said, this was just like a primer. So you can see the brush strokes and everything in that paint, but that's okay, because it's gonna have a top coat on it, and that's that paint from Waverly. I think the name of it is Moss. And now I am trying to get full coverage, even though this is not gonna be my final color. I am trying to get full coverage here. I use all different kinds of paint. Whatever I find that's on sale, that's generally what I get. I'm not dedicated to one brand yet. Now I'm planning on flipping this little box. I don't have a lot in it, so I'm not going to ask a lot for it. This is, I'm just going to flip it. Get a quick flip on it. I enjoy painting. Gives me a time to refresh my mind, relax, enjoy myself. And so when you got a project that you don't have a lot of money invested in, you can do a quick flip on it. And that's what I'm planning on doing with this box. Now you can see that keyhole looks bad, but I'm going to put an embellishment over that keyhole because that lock was broken. And I didn't have the key anyway, so I would have to take the lock off anyway. I have to say that Waverly paint right there does a good job. That's one coat, and look at that coverage on it. It's really taking hold. While I'm finished painting this, I want to remind y'all about our sleeping videos. If you're a person that has to have noise while you sleep, go to the playlist that we have. We've got one that's an old blue fan blowing, and we got one coming up that's going to be a cat nap. It's a cat and the outdoor sounds. And then we have one that's a kettle boiling. They're really good to sleep by if you have to have noise to sleep by. I think they run like 6 hours, 8 hours, somewhere in there. And the cat nap one's only going to be 1 hour. But you can put them on at night and let them play while you sleep. And that helps our channel too. Helps us get our view hours and helps you sleep. So it's a win-win. Okay, here's the inside. I'm just going to take that little makeup brush and go around those edges. Do y'all use the makeup brushes? Whenever I find a whole set, I get them, and when I find them at the thrift stores, and I wash them with some detergent and let them dry, because they're designed to be washed. And I use them for paint, wax. Really good to use if you have to treat the inside of the dresser drawers with the wax that is like an odor control. Those little brushes I like to use for that too. And it don't break your heart if you have to throw them away, because they don't cost that much. Look how good that paint covers. Here I am using that makeup brush I was telling you about. I'm just going to put a little bit of that Waverly Antique and Wax on it, just to bring the details out and make that green a little more subtle. And I really, really like that color green. It looks a little bit darker on the video than it actually is. It wasn't quite that dark. And here's the good thing about that Waverly. If you get too much on, just get you a little wipe and wipe it right off. Then if you wipe too much off, put some more on. You just keep working with it till you get it like you like it. So right here what I'm doing is just wiping the wax off the raised edges, the raised parts and the details. And right there I actually rubbed a little too hard and a teeny bit of that gold came through. And I liked it, so I went all the way around and did the same thing. See that? It's just a tiny bit. See that little tiny bit of gold? And I'm going to do the same thing on the bottom. Just taking some of that wax back. It didn't dry quite as dark as it looks here. I'm kind of using my fingernail there to scrape some of that paint back on those ridges. I did like the way that looked. Seemed like I just couldn't get that very top the way I wanted it, but it turned out good. Turned out okay. Okay, let's put the embellishments on. So I'm digging through my stash here. This cute little fleur-de-lis. I almost went with that. Little cowboy hat. I really thought that matched really well, but it didn't fit in there just right. Then I thought about, well, you know, a clock would be okay right there. Oh, and I really did like this lion head. Now this was the thing, I was really going to go with this lion head. I thought it matched all the trim and everything. But at last minute, I changed my mind because I thought about something else I had in another box. That's the rooster for one of our state football teams. I said, oh, that might be cute. But in South Carolina, you got to pull for Clemson or Carolina. So I didn't know who was going to be buying it, so I didn't put it on there. Still thinking about the lion head. Yeah, I really liked that too, but it was just too big. Then I remember I had that stash with these things in it. Let's go one more box before we make our final decision here. Take that out because I know somebody might want that. I don't usually do Halloween stuff, but if somebody gives it to me, then I'll, you know. That was real pretty, but it was just seemed like it wasn't to scale. It was just too small. Still thinking about that lion head. Those were $1.99 back in the day from the Hobby Lobby. I don't know how much they are now. I got a whole pack of them for a couple of dollars at a thrift store. And I've been using them here and there till I think I only got 2 left. Just trim off this little piece. That's amazing. It's an exact match on the color. That's just amazing. It just goes to show you the colors never change. I'm going to save that tassel because right then I didn't know what I was going to use it for. Okay, looks like I'm satisfied. Okay, I also taped all my hardware in there so I wouldn't lose it. I put all the screws that went with the hinges and the latches in painter's tape so I wouldn't lose those screws either because they are so hard to replace. Those little teeny tiny screws. This is the legs that were on it. I did film taking that off. I don't know what happened to that footage. That little piece had to be repaired. It was a very simple repair. This is the piece that goes on the top. It was so hot that day, that painter's tape was sticking like Gorilla Glue. Okay, that's the way that works. And all I'm going to do with that copper gold wax is just kind of clean it up, just make it look a little cleaner, that's all. And I'm just rubbing it in. See, it's not a big difference, it just looks a little fresher. Those little cans of that wax like that, they're pretty expensive, but they do last a long time because you only have to use a tiny bit. I've probably had that can right there for 4 years now, and I do use it quite often. Look at that. See, it's just a little subtle change, not much. Bringing out the details. I don't know if y'all ever seen hinges like that before, but those hinges, I didn't realize how they worked until I had them all the way back on. But those are the nicest hinges, and if I ever see those at a thrift store, I'll grab them. I'll get those from now on. Okay, here's the screws. I've got those. Look how hard they are to get out. I'm telling you, that glue melted right on them screws. Painter's tape's not even supposed to be sticky. It was just so hot that day. Okay, it took 3 screws per leg. And I'm going to get a piece of sandpaper and clean that extra paint off that bottom and clean it up. I'm going to leave it black. I'm just going to clean it up. I probably should have done that before I put the legs on. This is where I'm showing you I did a repair on that one that was broken. I just put super glue on it and give it some time to see it. And I also decided I want to put a little bit of glue on these legs. So I took that first one back off. Because when it's not real wood, when it's that manufactured board, once you take those screws out, sometimes they just don't tighten back up correctly. So I put a little bit of glue in there to keep them sturdy. Alright, let's get this top back on. See how that little bit of gold paint, it really looks good. I considered putting some on the details on the wood there, but I really liked it the way it was, so I just left it. I tell you, I was fighting that painter's tape that day. And these holes lined up so good on this project right here. I don't remember if I put the hot glue on that. I think I did. I'm pretty sure I did. Because it's not moving any as I'm putting these screws in. Oh, maybe I did. Pretty tight. Now we have the latch hole to fix, do the repair on. I'm just putting the glue on it there. I wanted to stand up so I could make sure I had it in the middle. Now I'm thinking about what type of embellishment do I want to put on those end pieces. So I went ahead and screwed the pieces that were on it to start with. Then I remembered I had those tassels that I took off the front. Let's see how that looks. Oh boy. Trying to thread a needle and tie a knot, an enemy of a senior citizen. But we got it on there. And we're going to put just a tad bit of glue to hold it. Just a dot. Perfect. Alright, let's get this other side. Okay, looks like the repair's holding really well. Looks like the editor cut that fight out. Okay, we got these hinges on the back. I'm trying to figure out what's this metal piece on here for. I didn't remember what it did. That screwdriver's a little 25-cent screwdriver I got at Habitat, and it is so handy for these little teeny screws. And see that little metal piece keeps the lid from going all the way back. See how it holds it up. And now I'm not happy with this inside. Look at that. That's where the latch was. So what I'm going to do is take the latch all the way apart and see, can I just get the outside cover of it to use to replace that, to make a repair. There you go. But it was a little bit bent, so I had to take a hammer and flatten it out. And I still had the screws, so all I had to do was hammer that out and screw it right back into the same screw holes. And I was pleased with that repair. Glued it first. And that's it. What do y'all think? I think it turned out pretty good. just a little ornament piece to use in a foyer, bathroom. Look how good those little feet turned out. I really had a good time working on this project. I hope it'll inspire you to pick up some of these little misfit pieces at the thrift stores. Give them a new life. Here I'm showing you how you could use it in a bathroom. You could use it on your dresser to put your jewelry in. It's just a little decorative piece that's functional. You can use it for things. Hey, if you enjoyed this video, I hope you'll give us a thumbs up and subscribe. It means a lot to us, and we'll see you next time.